deal. We're talking about clarity, bringing the country together, and then we can move on.
All right, talking about clarity and debates, he was completely unclear about the future of Sir Kim Darroch, our man in Washington, the ambassador. What is your view? Should Sir Kim Darroch step down? Should he remain in his post till he was due to leave, I think, in January for another 6 months? Given that the President of the United States says he will no longer deal with him, what should happen with our ambassador?
Well, I think that Sir Kim is an absolutely fantastic public servant. I've worked with him very closely his previous job as National Security Advisor. I was responsible for the National Security Secretariat. And I think that he was doing his job in explaining to ministers what he thought and what he saw. And it's incredibly important that civil servants, whether in the Foreign Office or right across the board, can say objectively.
So he should stay in his job then? You agree with Jeremy Hunt that he should stay in his job?
Well, I think that he was doing his job. Now, the relationship with the US is incredibly important, and it's bigger than any one person. But I think we've got to make sure that civil servants feel able to write down what they think in advice to ministers.
But if they express what they think in such an incendiary manner, in my view, having read it all, just parroting talking points which are very anti-Trump on American media, nothing particularly insightful, just the regular kind of stuff, and it all gets leaked to the enraging of the US president and the way we've seen, and a complete cessation of any dealings with him, surely his position becomes untenable. And again, I don't want to, you're not Boris Johnson, but Boris wouldn't answer this question. Jeremy Hunt was very clear. Sir Kim Darroch stays in his job if he's Prime Minister till he leaves in January. What is your position as a senior member of Boris's team? Does Sir Kim Darroch stay in his job, or should he step down?
Well, I think that Sir Kim is a terrific public servant.
No, you said that.
And I think that the relationship is bigger. Yeah, and I think that the relationship is bigger than any one individual. In fact, one of the positive things
what does that mean, though, Health Secretary? Does that mean he should step down?
Boris Johnson win? Well, one of the things I'm looking forward to is being able to reset this relationship with our most important ally, which has been, under strain in the recent past. And whoever's president of the United States, we need to have a really positive relationship with them.
But we know right now it couldn't be any less positive. We know right now that relationship couldn't be any less positive. It's about as toxic as it gets. The leaked memos reveal that our man in Washington has been openly scathing about the President of the United States, who's now said, I'm not dealing with him again. Jeremy Hunt, very clear. If he's Prime Minister in a couple of weeks' time, Sir Kim Darroch stays in his post. Are you as clear on behalf of Boris Johnson? Does Sir Kim Darroch stay in his post if Boris wins, or should he, do you think, consider his position given the gravity of the response from the President?
Well, I think that it's incredibly important that we have that strong relationship, and the relationship is bigger than any one individual.
But what does that mean?
Sir Kim has been... Well, it means that we've got to reset the relationship.
How?
And
does he stay or go?
Even this whole debate... Even this whole debate focusing on one individual person...
He's the ambassador.
...is the wrong way to approach it.
He's representing our country in Washington.
But there's much more to the relationship.
I can't work out, with respect, I couldn't work out what Boris was saying last night about this, and I can't work out what your position is on behalf of Boris. Should he stay or should he go? Simple question. Jeremy Hunt could answer it.
Well, maybe, Piers, you should listen to my answer. Right?
Okay.
Which is that the relationship is incredibly important. I think that the fact we're going to have, I hope, a Prime Minister who has a good relationship with the White House and with the President is very valuable. And I think that the relationship is much, much bigger than any one individual person. I also think it's incredibly important
so he should go then, Sir Kim.
That we don't... I also think it's incredibly important. Incredibly important.
What's incredibly important is that you answer the question.
Including ambassadors, can...
Keep going.
And I am responding to your question.
You're not answering the question with respect,
that I think the relationship
Secretary.
is bigger.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Should he stay or go?
Look, Piers, there's so much more to the relationship than one individual person.
I know, you keep telling me
It's
that.
about
But
should that one individual person go?
there is a reality check, which is the president says, I'm not going to deal with this guy. Do we have a lame duck ambassador for 6 more months with no relationship with the White House, no relation? He's already been banned from meetings, banned from dinners. Is it now untenable? Should he step down? Yes or no?
I am a strong supporter of that relationship.
I know.
I'm actually on here to talk about making sure you can get better health advice.
I want to get to Alexa, but I want to get an answer out of you.
And
you keep telling me I'm not listening to your answer. Every time I listen, you don't answer.
Yeah, but Piers, that's because the question is much bigger than the question that you're pushing.
Jeremy Hunt had
And
no
I'm
problem
not gonna
answering
get
it.
into
Why are you guys not answering a simple
I'm not
question?
gonna get
Jeremy
into
Hunt
that.
was quite clear. Sir Kim Darroch stays in his job. I'm standing up for our ambassador against the president. Neither Boris nor you will give a straight answer. I think we're entitled to know whether you guys think Sir Kim Darroch should stay in his position or should step aside. What is the answer?
I am absolutely sticking up for Sir Kim and all of our civil servants to write what they think to make sure people can
you've said that.
get the
So should he
advice
stay or
without
go?
fear or favour.
He should stay, it sounds
He
like.
should stay then.
I strongly support civil servants.
Should he
to
stay
be
in his
able
job
to
then?
do that? But we've also. Oh God! I mean,
You can't be frustrated with me. You're the one not answering the straight question.
Perhaps we should ask Alexa.
It's not.
Come on, let's ask Alexa.
Alexa, should Sir Kim Darroch stay or go?
There you go. And the NHS can give you.
Doesn't know
good
either.
advice.
Alexa doesn't know the answer.
She's listened to all your answers and she doesn't know.
We're going to move to Alexa. We're going to move to Alexa. We're going to move to Alexa. But given that Jeremy Hunt was unequivocal, I'm just going to ask you one more time and give you one more chance, right? Should Sir Kim Darroch, given all that's happened, stay in his position for another 6 months until he leaves, or should he stand aside? It's a yes or no. It's a stay or go.
I think that Sir Kim has done a good job. I deplore the leaks that have happened because that makes it impossible it makes it so much harder for people to do their jobs. And I think that we need to reset this relationship so we have a strong and positive relationship with our closest ally, our closest military, and what ought to be our closest diplomatic ally. And we need to get past this and reset that relationship.
So what's the answer?
No, you said you'd ask one more time and you have
I
asked
know,
one more time. And I
Look,
don't think we've got to... I think the
Piers,
viewers will know,
I've
Mr. Hancock, we haven't got a straight answer from you.
I've given my response.
Yeah, we've got your
I've given my response over and over again.
Why won't either you or Boris answer the question?
Well, because they're trying to be diplomatic about it and they don't want to... I mean, maybe you don't want to anger President Trump. I don't know.
All right.
It's really, really straightforward, which is that I think Sir Kim is terrific, and at the same time, we also have to, reset what has become a difficult.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I couldn't be clearer about it.
Here's the thing, Mr. Hancock. When you're running the country, as Boris will be in 2 weeks' time, and you'll be one of his top henchmen, I'm sure, in the cabinet. When you're running the country, you've got to make decisions. You can't just say on the one hand and on the other hand about everything. You've got to make decisions. Jeremy Hunt, I thought to his credit last night, even though I don't agree with him about this, said unequivocally, I stand by the ambassador. He stays in his job if I win until he leaves in January. And I find your refusal to answer the question, just the same as I did with Boris, is baffling and disconcerting because we need clarity on this kind of thing.
I understand. Look, I understand that. And I'm being diplomatic in my language. As it sounds, it's incredibly important that we get this right, and that's why I'm setting out my response to your question.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about Alexa, because actually we.